Hey guys, it's Jess. Welcome back to my channel. I realized the other day that I have been on YouTube for, I think it'll be a year in February, and I have not done one single Q&A. So I thought it was about time that I filmed one for you guys. You can ask me some questions, you can get to know me a little bit better, and I just thought it would be a really fun time. So I did a shout out on my Instagram the other day to get some questions from you guys, and here we are. So I'm going to be answering them in today's video, and at the same time, you guys can't really see at the moment, but I am surrounded by all of the Christmas gifts that I have bought for my friends and family, and they all need to be wrapped. So I thought, why not do both of those things in the one video, because efficiency and time saving. Okay, so I have a ton of stuff to wrap and a bunch of questions to answer, so let's get into the video. Transitioning with wrapping paper. So let's start off with the first question. This is from @EllenTibaldi on Instagram. Hey Jessica, I would love to know how you broke into the blogging world, working with brands and growing your audience, that kind of thing. I've been blogging for a while now and just recently started posting to YouTube once a week, but seem to be at a plateau. I would love your opinion as I love your work. Thanks so much, Ellen. Thanks, Ellen. Thanks for your question. There's a few different ones in there, but let's tackle the first one, which is how I broke into the blogging world. I'm gonna wrap presents at the same time. I was kind of lucky. I did actually have a bit of a break into the blogging world. So when I was in uni, when I first started my blog, there was a competition with Girlfriend magazine. So I was studying media communications journalism at uni, and at first I really wanted to write for magazines. That was like my dream goal. When I was 18 years old, I was like, I want to write for magazines, and that would be sort of my career. I remember I was reading all different kinds of magazines while I was at uni, one of them being Girlfriend magazine, which is a magazine that I grew up with and, you know, will always hold a special place in my heart. And they were running a competition where you could post a video, a makeup tutorial for Rimmel London, and from there they would choose their sort of finalist from each of the different states in Australia. They would go and attend the Girlfriend Model Search Roadshow, and from there they would select a winner. And now that winner would be able to write for Girlfriend for a year. They won a laptop, got to fly to Sydney for some video shoots and magazine shoots, and decided to give the competition a crack. So I did a video on, like, it was I think my favorite winter night out look, something like that. The video quality is terrible, like it is so bad compared to now. I'll see if I can find a clip. It's on my old computer, which died a few years ago, but if I can find a clip, I will insert it now. Sweep the colour all along your cheekbones and the apple of your cheeks. The best way to do this is smile. So that was my entry into the Girlfriend Rimmel London Beauty Insider competition, and from there I was selected to be the Victorian finalist, and so I attended the Girlfriend Model Search Roadshow, which they held at all of the Westfield shopping centres around Australia, and I was interviewed by the editor at the time, Sarah Tarker, on stage in front of all the entrants into the competition. So there was maybe, I want to say, like at least a few hundred, like maybe 1,000 people watching me on stage talking about like my best makeup tips, my favorite products and things like that. And then all of those road shows were filmed and then uploaded onto Facebook, and then I won. It blew my mind. So I was flown to Sydney and did a bunch of beauty shoots with Rimmel London and Girlfriend magazine. I had my face in the magazine, I had my videos up on their YouTube channel. It was so cool. And then probably the best prize as part of that competition was being able to write for Girlfriend for a year. So every single month I would get sent like the new products from Rimmel London, and I would write a little column in the beauty section of Girlfriend magazine, and hands down it is still one of the coolest things I have ever done. So that is how I got my break into the blogging world, because then I just kept up with my beauty content after that. I mean, not everyone is lucky enough to get a break per se, but I think if you just like put yourself out there, so I could have easily not entered that competition. I could have just doubted myself and thought, no, I'm not going to do well, or people might laugh at me. And if I'm honest, I did have those thoughts. I thought people would think that I was silly for, you know, entering a makeup competition but I decided to do it anyway because it was for me. And you know, I had the opportunity to write for a magazine, which, you know, as a journalism student was a huge deal, so I decided to just go for it. So in terms of breaking into the blogging world, I just think don't be afraid to put yourself out there. There are tons of people who might, you know, put you down, but at the end of the day, it's your life, it's your career, it's sort of your path to walk in life, and you should be able to go in whatever direction you want. While I'm wrapping up all these gifts, I might show you some of the things that I have picked up, but I won't tell you who they're for because my friends and my family watch my videos and they're gonna get a sneak peek of what they're getting if they actually like pay attention to what I'm wrapping up. So I'm going to be a bit sneaky about it and not show everything that I'm wrapping up. Present number 1, wrapped. So the next part of the question is about growing my audience. So if I'm totally honest with you, like since Instagram has changed its algorithm, I've actually found it really hard to grow my audience. So back when I first started on Insta, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, it was really easy to grow your audience back then because there were less people on the platform and everything was still kind of new. Whereas now I think it's a lot harder, the market's a lot more saturated. It's really about trying to focus on your content and making it look really good. So making sure your photography is up to scratch, making sure all of your like your captions or your written blog posts are all like formatted really nicely. The standard is so high now that if you have like a blurry video or, you know, a blurry photo or something like that, people just will scroll past it and they'll just move on. So it's really important that your content is up to scratch. And then I think it's also really important to be genuine online as well. I mean, if we wanted to go watch someone who wasn't truly being themselves, we could just go to the cinema and watch a movie full of actors and actresses. But on YouTube and on your blog, I think it's really important to just be yourself. That sounds super cliched, but people will like you for good content, but they'll keep coming back if they feel like they can relate to you. Like I said earlier, just not be afraid to put yourself out there because it resonates so much better than trying to be someone that you're not. I might have done a little bit of shopping for myself as well while I was buying all these gifts. So interspersed throughout this like pile are a few things for me. So when I come across them, I'll show you what I got as well. Oh, actually, here's one. This is the Shu Uemura Super Mario Bros. Sakura Makeup Mist. So for Christmas, Shu Uemura released a Mario collection of just the cutest skincare and makeup, and I only treated myself to one thing from the collection. This is the Sakura or Cherry Blossom Makeup Mist. I'll open it. I tried it while I was in the store and it just smells literally just like cherry blossom. It is so sweet and soft and delicate, and it reminds me of Japan so much, so I decided to treat myself to this. Just how cute is the packaging on this? So the next question comes from Elle Burson. She's actually got a YouTube channel, so I'll link her down below. She's asked, when did you start beauty blogging and what made you want to start in the first place? So like I mentioned before, I studied media communications journalism while I was at uni, and one of my courses I took, I think in my second year, was online journalism. So I actually, how cute is this book? This is for one of the kids in my family. I studied online journalism, and online like journalism was still kind of new back then. Like we're talking like 5 years ago, which doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but it kind of was in terms of the media. Everything was changing. Instagram wasn't really a thing yet. Like Facebook was still kind of taking off. Like, you know, a lot of stuff was really in transition 5 years ago. And my lecturer at the time actually asked everyone in my class to either start a Twitter account or start a blog, just to sort of get you used to creating content online. And it was literally just, I decided to start a blog instead of the Twitter. I have been writing since I was quite young, so I always really loved like creating things, and so I decided to go for the blog rather than a Twitter, just because you've got more freedom when it comes to having your own platforms. Hopefully a lot of the blog posts that I started with have been deleted by now, but some of the early ones were pretty bad. Does anyone else find wrapping presents really therapeutic? I love doing that. This is from the Hanny Hanny. Hey Hanny. some questions for you, Jess. Any plans to move to Japan? How do you feel about vlogging in public with people staring? And how do you juggle between work and blogging? Okay, there's 3 questions there. Let's start with the first one. Any plans to move to Japan? Maybe I shouldn't answer this one just yet. Look, if you guys have watched my Japan series, then you'll know that Japan holds a big part of my heart. I've been to Japan 4 times now, and it is hands down my favorite country. It makes me feel like, I don't know how to put it, I feel more at home when I'm in Japan than I do in Australia, which is so strange because I was born and raised in Australia, but I just love the culture in Japan. I love that there's always something to do. I love how beautiful and how safe it is. I love Japan so much, and I would love to also live there one day. I don't know whether I'd spend the rest of my life living in Japan, but I do know deep down that if I don't spend at least a considerable part of my life in Japan, that I will regret it one day. The logistics in terms of the when and the how still need to be ironed out a little bit, but for now I will be living in Melbourne, Australia, but I will definitely be going back to Japan. Oh, here's something that I bought for myself. So I went to Mecca and picked up a couple of things to treat myself. So I bought the Frank Body Twice as Fun coffee scrub set. So this actually comes with one of the original coffee scrubs and then one of the shimmer scrubs. I've never actually tried anything from Frank Body before, so I'm excited to give these a go, especially the shimmery one, because apparently it makes your skin like really glowy. Not like highlighter glowy, but healthy glowy, you know? Plus, how cute is Mecca's holiday packaging this year? You don't even need to wrap it, right? So the next question from Hani is, how do you feel about vlogging in public with people staring? So I film a lot in public, especially when I was in Japan. If you've seen my Japan vlog series, there's all the links to those are down in the description box below if you guys want to check it out. But I would constantly have my camera and tripod out in public. I'd be walking around, I'd have my camera out, I'd be talking camera, and honestly, like, it sounds like it's really scary sort of filming in public, and I mean, at first it's really scary. You get really nervous and anxious about it. You wonder if you're disturbing people or whether maybe someone's gonna get mad at you because I don't want to be on camera. But in terms of like being in public and like walking around with my camera out, I've been pretty lucky so far. There's only been a couple of times where I've been asked not to film, and people have asked me like very nicely. You just need to judge the situation. If there are a lot of people, like a really crowded space, they might not be so cool with you filming. And I mean, like, don't have your camera in people's faces because like you're not going to get a good response if you do that. But if you are filming in public, you can always find a quiet spot so it doesn't feel like you're invading anyone's space and you can still do your thing. I wonder how big this pile is going to grow, and it'll be like up here by the end of the video. There we go. That one's wrapped so nice. That one's my brother. What are you guys hoping that you'll get for Christmas? Let me know in the comments below what's on your wish list. I know what's on mine. Right, so that is one roll of wrapping paper done. Next. Ooh, here's something that I bought for myself. I bought a new pair of shoes just because I wanted to. These are so cute too. I actually own these in black. Look at them. Oh, they match my nails. Does anyone else do this? Like, you go Christmas shopping for other people and then you end up buying stuff for yourself? Like, please tell me it is not just me. Oh, next I'm gonna wrap up these. How cute is this? It's Grumpy Cat. Let's stay. There. I might need to start a second pile. So Hanny's third question was, how do you juggle between work and blogging? And it's actually really hard. So I work a 9-to-5 job, or it's more like an 8 to 6, as well as doing my blog and my YouTube on the side. So I often joke that I do my like 8 till 6 and then I do my 6 till 12. So I have 2 working days crammed into sort of one. It definitely is like a little bit challenging, especially like if you've got blogger events and you know you're working, so you need to kind of juggle it. So you know, maybe you can't go to that event that time because you know your work takes priority, or maybe there are times when you know, you've got to do something that's important for your blog, and then you need to readjust your schedule so you can make sure that you cover that base as well. So it's all about like making your work, for want of a better word. If you really enjoy what you do outside of work, you will always find time to do it. But definitely, if you're gonna try and juggle it while you're doing it full time, like, don't beat yourself up if you can't get all of your blog stuff done like to how you used to do it if you were doing it before you were working. Like, I compare myself now working full time and doing my blog to when I did my blog when I was in uni, and I had so much more time when I was at uni because I was only in class 3 days a week, because that's just how my timetable worked out. So I had all that extra time to work on my blog and like create blog posts and stuff like that, whereas now it's definitely harder because I don't have as much time to do it, but I just make time to do it so I'm not totally missing out because I love it so much. So yeah, you just got to find a way to make it work. I want to show you these because they are so pretty, but I won't tell you who they're for. So T2 have these really gorgeous sort of agate coasters, and they are just so pretty. I got like a blue, a green, an orange, and a pink. Oh, they're so pretty. I won't tell you who these are for, but I have got one each for some special people. So that's all you're gonna get. So let's go on to the next question. This one comes from Laurie Bloom. Hey Loy, what do you do to stay motivated and come up with new ideas? I'm actually really bad at planning out my content as well. I try and keep a semi-organized content calendar where I run through like what videos I'm gonna film when, and when I'm gonna edit them, and when they're gonna go up. But I really only do that during busy times of the year. Otherwise, I just kind of make content when I feel like making content. So if I go out, then, you know, if it would be good for a video, then I'll take my camera with me and I'll film something. But it can definitely be hard to stay motivated, especially with all these like new Instagram algorithm changes. You know, when you feel like you're putting in a lot of hard work and effort into some like gorgeous content, you think it's really good quality, and then it just doesn't seem to resonate. I think a lot of content creators are feeling it a little bit at the moment, so we'll see where that sort of takes us. But I guess the main thing for me that motivates me is that I really enjoy it, and I look forward to doing my blog and my YouTube as, you know, something that I enjoy and something that I find as a release. So that is probably my biggest motivation, is that I look forward to doing it. Whew, I'm on a roll. This one's from my Kris Kringle. So I have a group of friends and we're all doing a Kris Kringle this year, so I decided to get this beautiful like towel because I know that she's going away on holiday really soon. Now I just gotta work out how to wrap it. So the last question comes from musicheart_1996. When do you plan on visiting Japan again? Will you do another vlogging series on it? By the way, I loved seeing your videos of Japan. Thank you so much. Definitely plan on going to Japan again. Hopefully it'll be next year sometime. I haven't actually gone during cherry blossom season, so that's kind of the next trip that I want to take to Japan, which I think is in sort of late March to early April. So if I can go to Japan then next year, I will definitely be there. And if I do go, yes, 100% I will do another Japan vlog series on it, because I know you guys love it so much. I loved filming it and re-looking back onto my trip by making those vlogs. So 100% I will be doing a vlogging series next time I go to Japan, for sure. So that is it for this Q&A. Thank you so much to everyone who sent me through a question on Instagram. If you would like to follow me on Instagram, my handle is hijessicaanne, so you can keep up to date with what I get up to and won't miss an opportunity to have your question answered in one of my Q&A videos next time. So I think I'm gonna end the video here because I've actually run out of wrapping paper and I still have a bunch of presents that need to be wrapped up. So I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next video, guys. Bye.